Hello and welcome. My name is Mike Hammond,
I'm Sarah Walsh.
and this is Retails, a podcast all about retail restaurants and working horrible customer service jobs.
We would like to thank Right Good Studios for making us sound right good, and Arts NL providing funding.
This episode contains language and or content that is intended for very tired adults. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah.
And welcome back to Retails, the podcast that talks about the service industry and what it's actually like. Today's episode, we are talking about common sense, that little part of the brain that stops us before we do something completely idiotic. Today's guest, we have Allanna Ward. Allanna, thank you for coming in.
Hello, thank you for
Hello.
having me.
Allanna is a visual artist and just received their master's in art therapy. Allanna has also been an ice cream store clerk, a fireworks salesperson, an escape room attendant, cruise ship art dealer, and gallery art dealer. Allanna, tell us about what common sense goes to the wayside on a cruise ship.
I have a theory that the further you get out from a landmass, the more common sense just kind of sheds away.
Common sense is a landlocked ability.
I think it's a landlock skill. I think we need geographical reminders to keep common sense going. But once you're at sea, it is all bets are off.
So what kind of stuff happened?
There's a lot of different things. I would say in general, human decency and social norms are out the window. If you want to go straight into it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like you're essentially on a traveling version of Lord of the Flies, but with, I guess, buffets.
With buffets and with people who have paid to be there, and so they think it is your job to make sure they got their money's worth. No matter what your actual role is, you're apparently in charge of everything else to make them have a good time too.
So what kind of things were you in charge of to make them have a good time?
So I worked in the art gallery on the ship, so we would do live art auctions, and what we would often do to get people involved, because that's not the first thing you think about when you book a cruise ship, you're thinking more the drink package, the seeing the sights, is we would have games to get people involved to want to come to our auctions. So one of our promotional materials is we do something called either guess the weight or guess the price of an artwork. So on one of the first days they come in, we set up a huge statue and we have people come up to us and we have little cards and they fill out how much they think that statue weighs. Person wins, they win something, they want
Yeah, guess the jelly beans.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just
You're
to
doing
get
a
involved.
carnival game to sell high-end art.
Yes, yeah.
This is like the
Were you
high
just-
stakes version of when they get you to guess the weight of the pig at the carnival.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was is a cruise ship worker just like a nautical carny?
Ooh.
You know what? Not far off. You do have to wear a full suit, but not far off.
Do they give you carny names?
I didn't receive one. I have seen other people adopt nicknames, but I think we weren't allowed to in the gallery. They have to have an air of professionalism while you ask them to fill out raffles and sell them Looney Tunes prints. But
What happened with this weighing?
So, and a lot of things would happen.
Oh gosh.
First up, you'd have people coming by the gallery, coming by and looking at the statue and looking at you and going, maybe about 200 pounds. And people would start guessing on your weight standing next to the sculpture.
No.
I've had people guess my weight. I've had people run through the back of the gallery and pick me up. Now, I know you can't see from here because I'm sat down. I'm not a small woman.
You're very tall.
Very.
Yeah, you're at
Yeah.
what, 6 feet?
I'm very close to 6 feet. And
So people were just bursting to the back of the gallery to lift you up so they could guess the weight of a statue.
guess the weight of the statue. And I'd almost prefer that version because the worst one was when you'd lock eyes with kind of an older guy. He's clearly had a few drinks and he slowly approaches and lifts you up. I think that's the worst experience.
Wait, slowly approach Walk us through this.
Yeah, like, is he doing it seductively or is he slow because he's old?
Yeah, how much lip licking is there?
But he's old, so it's making this, like, sandpapery, like, bleh.
It's eyeing you up like you're a piece of lumber at like Home Hardware.
And they all thought this was okay.
Not a second thought was given to it. I had never had anyone apologize. It was always a big joke, and you were expected to laugh along with it, to be like, ha ha ha, yes.
Yes,
totally.
I was picked up against my will.
Yes, thank you for picking me up against my will, having your hand casually go up behind my blazer, and then guessing that I was over 200 pounds. That was very cool of you. What a great experience.
Oh, that
Can I
sounds so
guess that the art
upsetting.
is pregnant?
When it came to guess the price, I'd get a lot of guessing what a price of one night with me would be.
I
instead
thought
of
it couldn't get grosser than the weight guessing.
Yeah, and some people would actively like write that down. Some people would come up, seem very serious, be like, okay, I'm going to guess the price of this. And then when they flipped it over, they would hand it to me and tell me that, oh, oops, I was guessing on the price of a night with you, not on the artwork. And that would happen like pretty often.
And again, people thought this was okay. Like,
yeah.
Par for the course, because this happened on multiple cruises, right?
Happened on multiple cruises, a lot of different regions. Obviously it's often quite a lot of Americans. Not to throw any shade into that entire
No, please do.
soup that's going on right now.
We have a Canadian grant. Like we can knock other countries just fine.
Canadians have been lovely, I gotta say. You really notice the difference between Canadians and Americans when you're off the land.
So, like, how many times in the run of a cruise, and you're doing this weight or price game, like, how many times in the run of a cruise would you get, like, assaulted, degraded,
Well, you'd only
as, like, a fun party game?
I would say every time it's set up, because you only do it like a couple days. You don't do it every single day of the cruise, but every time it's set up, you're guaranteed at least one super weird interaction like
So, a
that.
guaranteed.
Yeah, pretty much guaranteed.
Blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, there's something about hoardiness too. Like when you get off land, all of the common sense we have about like repressing weird.
No, it's
Horny
spring
urges?
break mentality. I'm certain because we saw it a lot in
Entirely.
the restaurants where we'd have people that would come in and the way that they behaved, you were like, "Have you just been drinking Coors Light for 17 consecutive days?" And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, I've been across the country for like the last 2 months." And I'm like, "And that's why." It's like this whole lack of inhibitions because you're around people that you're probably never going to see again, and it just makes you feel like you can act like a horse's ass.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's almost like a almost being hunted for sport kind of thing where everyone else is paid to be here, but this other person works here. So it's almost like more exciting to them.
Yeah, they can't leave.
You're trapped there. with
What a
them.
prospect.
Do they just collect name tags? Like every time you're like, "Oh, I've been lifted. Oh, my name tag has gone missing." And it's just some psycho that's been going around cruises lifting people and then being like, "Ah, another trophy."
So something to collect from you.
I got this one from the big woman.
I got this from an over 200-pound woman. I assume, I guess.
I mean, I guess. And that's, the statue had to be at least 2 pregnant women.
But she was only the price of one pregnant woman.
There's also just like a complete disregard for what reality is. Like even at the auctions, we'd start out, we'd have to do a full reading of the card and the rules, and people would pretend to not understand them or ignore them and then get into big fights with us in the gallery to the point where the company that I worked for, unnamed, had to create a standardized video that they were sure included everything that they would play across all of the ships, because people would come back to their appointments after they had bid on something and be like, "Well, you didn't say that," you know. And if we don't have it recorded, there's not much leeway. So they had made a standardized video of that. And before that happened, I had a boss who told me a story that kind of still makes me laugh to this day. He was on a ship and he was telling me about this man who had bid on not a costly artwork. I'm trying to be very nondescript, but not a costly artwork. But then when he found out that it would cost like maybe $50 to get it mailed to him, because you can't keep all of our stock on the ships, right? Like, it has to be mailed from where we're storing all of them. He had a meltdown. He tried to claim that he didn't bid on it. He tried to claim that, he didn't want it. That we were scamming him because it would cost for things to be shipped to him, which is all outlined. Like, things have to be sent to you. We can't hand you giant artworks to go straight off the ship, and also fix up frames. So he comes to the gallery one night, and he is losing his mind at my boss, and it's going on and on. He's talking in circles and circles, and my boss finally goes, "You know what, sir? I can really see that $50 is going to put you out. I can see that is going to ruin your entire trip. And as somebody who works on this ship, it would break my heart to see this $50 ruin your entire trip. So let me tell you something. I will pay the $50 for you to get this print to your house. It would be my honor to pay you $50 so you can get this print you loved so much and have a great vacation." And the guy starts turning red. Like, it's like growing from his chest up to his ears. His ears are red. He leaves the gallery, and we see him beeline it straight for, like, guest services. There's a whole system on ships where you can write a complaint, but you have to, like, fill out a whole form and then give a review and all of that. And he gets up to guest services. And we hear more about this from the other end, because talking with the people who work there after hours and everything. And he goes to fill out the form, and the lady's like, "You know what? Okay, like, I can fill this out with you. We'll sit down and go through it." And she's like, "So what is your complaint?" And he goes, "Well, that man who works at the art gallery offered to pay for my painting." And she goes, "Excuse me, sir, what?" "That man who worked at the art gallery looked me in the eyes and told me he was going to pay for my painting, and it would arrive to my house without me have to spend anything." And she's like, "I am not sure I understand, sir." And he gets so frustrated after he's written it out, and he has to read it back to himself, read it back. They're bringing other managers to try to
So
understand.
he can read written instructions.
He can read and write. I'll give him that. He can read and write.
You know, I'd say what you will about the man. He is literate.
He is literate.
And how?
And so he starts this whole night, this repetitive process of, he goes to guest services. He goes to fill out this card, gets frustrated that no one else is equally as angry as him about this. Starts walking back to the gallery to yell at my boss. And they're all in one loop. So we see him just doing that. And then eventually he starts adding in walking up a set of stairs and down a set of stairs to cool off. To start the process all over again.
Imagine being so angry, you're like, "I'm taking the stairs."
Yeah, he was stuck on a boat. That's what he forgot. Is like, he was an asshole to the worker, and then he's stuck there for a week.
Yup.
It's like, yeah, no, I was just thinking that when you, like, do something deeply inappropriate, I don't understand how you don't have the level of shame conditional to the fact that, like, you are perpetually going to be running into these people for as long as you are stranded on the ocean.
And, like, you've already complained to a bunch of them, right? So,
Mhm.
so all the staff on the boat hate you. That's something that I've never understood about people who get really in the face of employees. It's like, do you not think we're gonna not go back there and just talk shit about you and make fun of your weird hair and talk about your dumpy children? Like, that is one of my biggest fears. Like, one time I was almost too curt with a customer service person, and I was like, "Oh my god, I just ruined their day. Everyone at that place hates me now. I can never go back." It wasn't even that bad, and people are like freaking out, like punching servers and just like, "You better have my table next week." It's like, why not just not go?
Like, stay home and be angry. Like, if you're really that full of piss and vinegar, like, stay home and keep that to yourself. Because, like, I mean, I have moods where I'm in the foulest mood, and I can't picture being like, "I need to go right now to a 4-star restaurant to scream at a 19-year-old trying to get through college."
I would witness a lot of times too, people just forgetting the normal procedure for things. Like, I would have people come up and ask me for prices of paintings in the gallery, which you don't have them right next to it. It's a whole thing.
It's
You don't have
tacky.
It's a bit tacky, all of that. But
Oh, that's a real reason? Oh my god.
It is. People are weird about art.
yeah, people are weird about art, and also it's that I don't want to get too far into it because I'm scared of my old company. But there are reasons why you don't have the price right next
Did
to
you work for the mafia?
The sea mafia, if you will.
Ah, the Porpoise family.
I'm just picturing a bunch of dolphins with cigars that are cracking their dolphin knuckles and just looking at you over the boat, being like, "Eh."
Fall in line. See?
Yeah, I don't know why they all talk like that, but they do. That's what dolphins sound like. Everybody knows that.
I had one guy in particular who came down and he was asking about a piece of art and asked for the price and asked me to write it down. And when I wrote it down on a sticky note, freaked out at me. He refused to touch the sticky note. He's like, "Oh, I don't want that. I didn't say I wanted to buy it." And I was like, it's just the price which you asked for me. He's like, "You guys are so crafty and so sneaky." And I was like, "Sir, what do you think is going to happen? That once you touch this sticky note, it activates on your like room account?
The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Like, what witchcraft do you think I have out here?"
Yeah, that guy's world is different than mine because I have never assumed once I touch the price of something, I have then paid for it.
Yeah, and he got very angry with me. But then almost worse, he the next night, I don't know if maybe he was hammered or something, but the next night he seemed to be sobered up and he came and was apologizing profusely to me. And he started doing that every night until his cruise was over.
May I just ask how many people came in very, very drunk and enthusiastic about art, only to come in the next day and be like, "I did not agree to this."
We would give out champagne at the auctions. I'm just going to say.
I'm asking this as someone that has been really drunk at art shows because they keep passing out those tiny glasses of wine and they don't ask you if you've had enough. They just assume.
They see you're slightly empty.
Yeah, they're like, "I'll give you a top up." And I'm like, "Please, I need to go home. It's 5 p.m."
The only way an art sale can happen is if at least one of the parties is a chronic alcoholic.
This is the way of the art, yes.
Luckily, if you work on a cruise ship, you're often chronically an alcoholic. That was my experience. So we always had one in the room when I was there.
I do love like people just going on a cruise and then like just drunk buying high-end art.
I mean, like, some of us text our ex or like, decide that we're gonna just like take a funny picture of our cat in a costume, and like then there's other people that are like, "I really need this statue because it speaks to me. I'm gonna put a second mortgage on my house."
Like when I would make drunk night mistakes, it would be like, "Oh no, I ordered some exotic candy on eBay." But I've never once woken up after a bender and been like, "Oh no, I shouldn't have bought that Rembrandt."
We had people spite buying art. Like we'd have couples. 'Cause
Spite
Please
buy.
elaborate what spite buying entails.
well, okay, depending on what ship you're working on, I worked on a variety of them. So some of them are a little bit more costly to go on. So you get people who just have fuck you money. And
It's
so
a ship.
It's a ship. Yeah. So if you'd see people come in and maybe have a fight in the gallery or fight over an artwork, and you see like the wife come down later and be like, "You know what? I think it'd be the best fuck you if this just arrived at our apartment after." Well, sorry. They would never say apartment. They
I
were
know,
not
it
living in
was like,
apartments. These people.
8-bedroom condo.
Yeah. In one of our summer homes.
Our
He was
terrace.
so
If
frustrated.
this showed up at the castle, he'd be furious.
So angry. I had one guy who, not to be a bummer, but he knew he was like nearing the end of his life. And he sat down and he built one of the most insane packages I've ever seen of like very expensive artwork. And we were like, "So are you moving somewhere? Are you furnishing like a new apartment?" Fuck, he keeps saying apartment. Are you furnishing a new mansion,
A
sir?
new mansion.
Are you furnishing your private jet? And he was like, "No, I recently got diagnosed with something and my son is such an asshole. I do not want to leave him a cent."
Ah.
It
Oh my
was
god,
incredible.
can you imagine having that much money that you're like, "No. High-end art, and my son will be so mad. I will leave the remaining 8 million to my dog."
Actually, can you suggest the ugliest art you have?
Like, I really want him to look at something and recoil and be like, "My inheritance, so."
I want resellability to be 0, actually. Could you spit on it a little bit? Rub it up.
So why do you think the customer service experience is so riddled with like a lack of common sense?
I just think we're like in general or cruise
Yeah, just
ships?
in general.
In general? To be more bleak, I think when money is involved, sometimes consumers think that the person across from them is like not a human anymore. They
Oh,
think they
yeah.
owe them, that they own them. I think, yeah, I've got to think about that a little bit.
Well, because
Why
you were
even
talking
outside
about,
of
like, the further you get away from shore,
Mhm.
people let their freak flag fly kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, like, what is it about, like, being put outside of your day-to-day?
That makes common sense disappear. I think a little bit is a lack of accountability. You're often not going out with all of your friends. And so now you're interacting with a stranger.
Yeah.
There's no one there to be like, hey, man, that's not the nicest way to talk to someone.
Or just, like, don't put your hand on that hot thing.
Yeah, true.
Maybe self-preservation just kind of like goes down because you're just like, oh, people are taking care of me at every turn.
Yeah. I'm in a space that's catered to me in a way. Because, like, psychologically, we want people to buy things or experience these things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have a little bit of a freak inside of us. And I think once like regular constraints are gone, like whether your little inner freak wants to be like atrocious to other human beings or your little freak wants to like know how a battery tastes for the first time, there's something about that change in setting, I think.
I love how broad that gamut just went because you just described people that are secretly sociopaths and people that might have some neurodivergence to attend to.
What do you mean? You don't like batteries just cuz?
I mean, I think that you're opening a dangerous door of what intrusive thoughts are too intrusive.
Ooh, I think intrusive thoughts is a really great way to look at that.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, half the people on a boat have, fuck you money. And
Yeah.
then they also have the fuck it mentality because they're like crossing this off the old bucket list. And then, one day they wake up and they buy like a weird statue that speaks to them despite the fact that it's like as horrifying as a biblically accurate angel.
Mhm.
And then the next day they're like, I will try raw turtle meat. Like, it's just, I think it's a slippery slope of being like, touch the hot thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think also once the Band-Aid's off,
Oh,
once
yeah.
you're out doing something so different, you're like, what's one more thing? Like, I broke being vegetarian for like 13 years to try iguana because I was like, when am I ever going to try iguana
Honestly,
again?
yeah.
I was so close to the turtle meat. Good.
Oh, it's a personal story. Yeah, I see you.
I mean, I didn't do it, but I would.
But yeah, like,
yeah.
there's some insane, like, warning labels and rules at places. They're like, who is this for?
Well, yeah, when you see like the sign that says like no arm wrestling or something at a bar, and you're like, that exists for a reason.
Yeah, like, what kind of... It's like the vending machine rules. Like, someone shook a vending machine, it fell on them, and then now every vending machine in history has a little, like, do not shake. Someone shaking it, like a little, no, you're not allowed to shake this.
Just don't do it.
And it's just like, because one absolute moron decided, I need some chips, I need some Fritos, and then died. Like, it's the same, like, there's warning labels on chainsaws to, like, don't pick up the chain end. It's like, who needs this? Who is this for?
Answer: the vast majority.
Yeah, like hair dryers. I don't own a hair dryer, so I didn't know this before researching for this episode. Yes, I research. But hair dryers have a warning labels like do not use overnight or like do not use while sleeping.
Who is sleep? I sleepwalk, but I've never once sleep dried my hair.
How the fuck do you set that up? Like, do you just have like a duct tape kind of like...
Can you imagine the first person that was like, I'm gonna make my time work the best for me? So they set up a little sleeping station, but they're like, and I'm gonna dry my hair while I do it, so I'm productive.
Yeah, they
And
got
they
burned
tape
and
it.
their house caught fire.
Oh, that's
That is what
gorgeous.
happened.
Are you guys aware of like the trash cans in parks? Some of the rules with those?
There are
No.
rules.
Maybe not the rules, but like rules in designing them. So they say in like a lot of national parks, they're trying to design a trash can that is complicated enough that the smartest bear can't get in, but simple enough that the most basic of humans can open the lid to use it. And I think that applies in a lot of these scenarios.
It honestly does.
I think that sums up humanity in such a succinct manner.
Well, like, because just rules in general, people are good at.
Mhm.
And I think that's a perfect break for our tale today. Today's tale is all about escape rooms. Enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the escape room. My name is Mike. I'll be your guide today. If this is your first time, you're going to walk into a room filled with a bunch of locked doors and boxes, and you have to solve a series of puzzles to get out. We have a long list of rules for the rooms. Every rule on the list is because someone's done it before. Some of these will sound dumb. I promise you they are very important. Please follow them. So all of our rooms have electronics in them, TV screens, laptops, that sort of stuff. If it's electronic, there's nothing hidden around it. Also, there's nothing hidden inside of it. Please don't take apart my things. No strength required. You just need the strength of one finger to use anything in the room. That includes not pulling things apart to squeeze your hands in. That will break my stuff. Please don't put anything in your pockets. Please don't put anything in your pockets. Said it twice. Super important. We've had our stuff travel across the island and country. Anything on the walls will stay on the walls. Nothing hidden behind pictures or decorations. Just because something can come off the wall does not mean it should. Please don't climb on anything. Everything's going to be in reach. There's a big tall tree in the middle of this room. Especially don't climb that. It's fake. It will break. You will fall. You will hurt yourself. It's also made of foam, so please don't pick at it, kick at it, or stand on it. That'll just end up ruining my tree. You may find a couch in this room. Please don't stand on the couch. Don't take the cushions off the couch. Don't put your hands in the couch. Please don't move the couch. It is a couch. There's exactly two things you can do with the couch. You can either sit or not sit. Those are your couch options. You do not need to destroy anything to solve anything, so please treat our stuff carefully. You're going to find a red cooler at some point in this room. The thing you find inside the cooler does not need to be ripped open. Take it out, use it for your game. It is a puzzle piece, but if you rip it open, unfortunately, your game is over. Please don't rip open stuffed animals. You may come across some human remains in this room. Please don't pick up the bodies, they're bolted to the floor. Also, please do not try to undress them as some groups have tried to do. There's nothing in their bones, there's nothing in their pockets. Please don't look there. They could be holding something for you. If they are, you can take it, use it for your game, but please treat the dead with respect. Please don't open any envelopes. There's nothing inside. You're going to find some luggage. Inside the luggage, there's some clothes. They're sewn in, so don't try and rip them out. Nothing in the clothes, nothing under the clothes. Just decoration. Now, this one's going to sound stupid, but it keeps happening. There are some props in the room that you may have an instinct to put in your mouth and or ears. Don't! I cannot stress this enough. Do not put things in your ears, you group of adults. This next one's going to sound silly, but it's happened before, so please do not search inside. Heaters, electrical outlets, light sockets, smoke detectors, inside the air conditioner, inside the flashlights, inside the ceiling, inside the drywall. There's nothing in these places because, of course, there isn't. There are some signs in the room saying don't touch or don't open. That's just for your own safety. We're not trying to trick you. Also, please leave thermostats alone. If you have your phones, no big deal. You can use them as calculators, extra flashlights. All that we ask, please, no pictures or videos. Don't write things down. Don't ruin the game for anyone else. So no spoilers. And just because I wasn't specific enough last week, a video call is still a video. It's in the name. So please don't call your friends and spoil our game. Lastly, if you win or if your timer runs out, stay in there. We'll come get you. And may God have mercy on our souls. And those are the real rules to an escape room.
I'm of the unanointed that have never worked in an escape room. How many people statistically tried to put things in their mouth and ears?
In the one particular room, I would say about half the groups will take a thing that so in that story, I exaggerated. When I was at work, I exaggerated it more. I spent a solid like 2 minutes talking about don't put things in your ears because it's disgusting. It's like to say if you would take some earbuds off the side of the road and then just jam them in the old ear hole. And I would say, this is exactly the same thing. And they're like, what idiot would do that? And then I'd go in partway through the game to help them, and they've all taken turns jamming shit in their ears.
You mentioned in there about not taking stuff off the walls. I've come in to give a hint, and someone had ripped a poster off a wall and were holding it in their mouth in case there was a clue that would make sense later.
But why their mouth? Are they just like, I bet saliva is going to activate a special ink?
Yeah, it's like the lemon juice on the back of the Declaration of Independence in National Treasure.
Well, maybe the flavor's a clue. Maybe that's one of the answers.
Yeah, honestly, it tastes a lot like poster.
I think that people are putting way more faith in how elaborate these games are if they're like, I will test this the following ways with my orifices.
The amount of adults I have had to fully stop them from electrocuting themselves by digging through the power outlet. It's staggering.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I felt very real fear in some of our rooms that had an actual key over thoughts that they would put that straight in that outlet.
Yeah.
Right in there.
Yeah, it's bananas. Like, we talk about, like, when people are taken out of their day-to-day, you know, the common sense starts to slip. Something about an escape room, it's like anything is possible. Like, we had an old Skip one time, and at the time, you were supposed to, like, empty your pockets, put it in a locker. This guy snuck in a multi-tool, so like the pliers, knife, screwdriver, nail file, the whole thing. And he took the heater, the thing that provides heat, off of the wall. He took it off. He took it the fuck off the wall. And when the people went in, they were like, what the hell? He's like, oh, there's something in there. It's like, yeah, it's a fucking heater. All the heater stuff was in there.
Maybe he just really wanted to show the people that were doing the room with him how equipped he was. Like, he was just like, I'm not a chump. Here is my Swiss Army knife. I am ready for anything because the Boy Scouts taught me how to be.
But, like, the big thing with, like, escape rooms is, like, these things happen throughout the day. Like, this is going to play again next hour. What part of you thinks that we're making every single group bring in their own tools to take the heater off the wall, and then at the end of your game, put it back on the wall for the next group to sneak in a tool and take it off again? Like, at what point do you just think, I'm in a game. The game has rules, the game has boundaries. The game was invented by people. We are in the real world. Like, people were literally, like, currently in one of the rooms, there's a bunch of finger marks on the wall in one of the rooms from people prying off the drywall.
And some people trying to get into the drop ceiling. I've seen people try to pop those open and crawl around in there.
Yeah,
you think we designed that in there?
2 guys from Quebec got on each other's shoulders. I guess they were from Cirque du Soleil. I don't know.
I was about to ask, are they circus folk?
Honestly, maybe. But they, like, took off all the ceiling tiles because they thought there was clues in there. It's just like the rules that we have to say to people. Some of them people are just like, why? Who does this? And it's like, it's a shocking amount of people. Like, the amount of dumb shit that will happen in the run of a day in an escape room. It's like all bets are off. Like, you're talking about going out to sea and everyone's a freak. Get locked in a room for an hour. People lose their Jesus minds.
And they walk among us. Like, my dad is someone who would go into an escape room and beat the fuck out of the place. Not out of maliciousness, but just, like you said, like, they're not getting one up on me. There's a clue in here. This drawer won't open. I'm gonna fucking make it open.
I'm gonna get it opened.
A lot of the dumbest stuff is when people think they're smarter than the game. So, like, if there's like a little like chest and the lock is on one side, they'll pry open the other side, so they can jam their hands in and take out whatever's in there. And I caught a guy doing this. He was like mid-pry. He was there with his grandson and his daughter, I guess. And I was like, oh man, please don't like pry open the boxes. Like it can break our stuff. He's like, oh, I'm not breaking that, sure. I paid for this room. I can solve it how I want.
By breaking.
By just smashing, instead of just like ripping things open. Like he thought that was okay. He thought that was a normal thing. I paid for an hour in this room. I get to trash it.
Well, but I think that that's actually like a pretty normal attitude that a lot of people have had, like, you know, in customer facing interactions. I mean, like, I worked as a server for a long time, and the amount of people that would do something outlandish and then they'd be like, sure, I paid $30 for this meal. And I'm like, that doesn't mean that you get to do things that are objectively crazy. Like, I'm trying to think of a good one, but I mean, like, well, one time when I worked at a bar, I wasn't there that night, but there was a guy that had a pretty big tab on the go, and then at the end, he came up to the bar, and he'd been at the ATM, and he gave them a crazy amount of money, and they were like, what's this? And he was like, this is for my tab, but also I ripped the paper towel dispenser off the wall. I've done it before. Here's how much it'll cost to replace. And then he left, and we just all were like, huh? And like when we closed, we went to another friend's bar, and they mentioned that the same guy, well, they assumed it was him, because they were like, oh yeah, no, we had a guy do the same thing like 3 weeks ago.
That's the little battery licking freak inside.
No,
of
that's
him.
exactly
He
it.
has to rip it off.
Yeah, that's a battery licker.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, there's intrusive thoughts like, I should get bangs again, and then there's intrusive thoughts where it's like, rip the dispenser off the wall. There's a clue behind it.
Do it. You know you wanna.
But yeah, like, there's a lot of people that I've interacted with that are
Take
like,
it off the wall.
oh no, the voices.
No one's gonna notice it was you.
I'm taking this microphone when I leave.
It cost $108.43. Give them exact change.
But like, yeah, I think that people think that if they're paying for a service, then it entitles them to significantly more than the purview of the service.
So is common sense tied to entitlement?
I feel like it has to be.
I think there's a level to it because you're not checking yourself, right?
Yeah,
like
there's
you
no
feel it.
Yeah, you're
Ability.
just wrecking yourself.
You're just wrecking yourself. You're thinking, you know what? These rules exist, but not for me.
Fuck this paper towel dispenser.
Yeah, fuck
There's
it.
clues behind it.
Oh man, I can't wait to go in and rip a heater off the wall. People have pried TVs opened. Like a TV, like one that you buy. And they took the corners of it and like pried their fingernails and just hauled. Like, because they thought there was a key inside.
Okay, now, but as you're describing this, there's a small itchy part of my lizard brain that's just like, that does sound like it would be a certain degree of satisfying. Would I do it? No, because I have not the money to replace this, and I think, like, I don't like inconveniencing people in general, so, like, you know, when you're at the supermarket, you're not bagging fast enough, and the person behind you is glaring. I pictured that, but times a million, when you have to explain that a heater has been ripped off of a wall, because you're like, I thought maybe there'd be a puzzle piece in there.
Yeah, there was someone who smashed a light bulb. They, like, took the light bulb out of the thing. They smashed it because they thought they saw a clue.
It's a light bulb. Which one of your employees has the wherewithal on light bulbs to be like, the clue goes in?
Every hour on the hour, we have to clean up broken glass and put in a new light bulb. That was the thought process, because otherwise they're just destructive. And I don't think that was it. They thought they were the most brilliant people.
And you're just the escape room boy. You're not a human behind all that.
Yeah,
I was
come
gonna
give
say,
me a
you're
hand.
behind the
Clean up my
counter, buddy.
broken glass.
You live for this shit. These cuts on your hands, proud battle scars.
At the end of your shift, non-playing character, you stand in the wall like a sim and just wait till the game restarts.
But yeah, I guess some of it comes from entitlement, because like the people like, I paid for this, I get to do whatever I want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about your like paper towel guy. The fact that he was like, I make enough money that I can follow this freaky little urge wherever I want to go. I hand them the money. There's no longer repercussions for me.
Well, yeah, no, I think that this is like, you know, people that trash hotel rooms and they're just like, it's fine, I paid someone to deal with it. My house is dirty, buy a new one. Like,
Yeah.
if you have that much, like, if you have ludicrous fuck you money, then I guess
But it's not
it.
even fuck you money. It's like any sort of payment interaction. Like,
Mhm.
it's not just rich people who are assholes at the store.
Oh God, no! It's everybody that can be.
Do you think there's an element of yes entitlement, but also just like no anxiety? Because I'm thinking about your bagging story.
Oh.
Like every day is like that. It's like hell in my mind, where I'm just like I cannot inconvenience anyone.
No,
But
I think that my anxiety personally keeps me from being a menace,
yes,
and I think that I would curse everyone that I know with anxiety if it would keep us functioning as a society in a
Mhm.
way that was constructive to everybody.
Is it
Yeah.
anxiety or is it shame?
Oh, it's both. They go together.
yeah.
It's like
Oh,
peanut butter
okay.
and chocolate.
Okay.
Mhm. Complementary flavors. For
I was going to
sure.
say mental health greatest hits, if you will. But no, I think that with the right amount of anxiety and shame,
Mhm.
people would, not be people with 86 items in the 12 items or less checkout. Or, they wouldn't be idiots that get stuck in a revolving door and then scream at a security guard because they didn't know how to use a revolving door. Like you.
Oh my God. I had to go back to the escape room. I had a lady, same room with all the drywall peeled off. I'm at the end of the game. I'm standing next to the door. They're just constantly asking for hints. They can't get it. And I give them extra time. They can't get it. It's a family, 2 kids, mom, dad. Mom comes out of the room. Well, no one can solve that. No one could ever solve that. Why do you even say that people can solve this when they clearly can? Clearly, no one can solve this. And, like, I didn't mean to sound, like, snippy, but I did tell her a group of 13-year-olds beat it before them.
But-
And the look on her face, because her kids the entire time were like, Mom, stop. This is a human. Mom, stop. We knew how it worked. You just wouldn't listen to us.
Honestly, I like the new generation of kids because I have found that I've seen that a lot more when you have someone that's like just younger than our parents but older than us, so they're in that weird middle ground between
Because
boomer
every
and
Gen
us.
Z kid has anxiety. You're
They
right.
do. That's exactly
It's
it.
We
And
cracked the code.
well, literally, when I was out with my kid the other day, there was a woman that I've never met before being like, "Oh, hello, young," and she was like trying to touch my kid's face, and I was like, "Oh, no, thank you." And then her kid, who was like 12, was like, "Mom, you can't just touch someone's baby." And then the mom was like, "Oh, I'm just saying hello." And then I was like, "Actually, please don't touch my." I was
Actually,
like,
you really can't touch other people's babies.
yeah,
It's
like you can
big
wave,
deal.
but like I just watched you like smokers cough in the lineup so hard that you look like you barfed a little and then swallowed it. So like, please don't touch my baby. And then the kid was like, "I told you," and like you could tell that like Brantley or whatever they named that poor kid, like went home and got yelled at. But like it's definitely like new generation kids have the right amount of anxiety.
Mhm.
Like they don't want to upset people. They have like some idea of social wherewithal and just rules that you sign when you enter polite fucking society.
I also think it's so bleak. Our economy is so bad. Dreams like can't really exist anymore.
Oh, God, no.
There's no reality unless you're a very select group of people where you're like, I'll eventually make fuck you money. We all know that we still have to live with these people we're around. no one's getting out and being able to like craft their own reality. So we have to make it work with people around us.
Also, weird counterpoint. Not even counterpoint. Maybe an addendum. Like, do you think that people with the fuck you money, they're so out of things to do that they do shit like this because they're like, I have all the money and yet I still feel nothing, and then they rip like a vending machine off a wall and they're like, still empty. Like, do you think that maybe that's why people would misbehave in such a stunning way? Because like normally, like, I don't know, when a kid misbehaves that badly, you're like, oh, they need attention because there is something going on. And when an adult does it, you're like, do you maybe need some attention?
I think it is, though. I
Mhm.
think some of them just need attention
Yeah.
for like the weird stuff that they complain about and like the weird things that they just kind of pull at the store. It's like, oh, your kids don't call you anymore.
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
when I was at the restaurant, the amount of times that people did something really weird and then you'd get them calmed down enough that they'd sit down and order a soup or something and they'd be like, of course, my daughter hasn't spoken to me in days. And I was just like, and is that maybe why we're coming out to you?
I find when you're dealing with really challenging people like that in customer service, once you've like polited them off their feet, it always turns into like a pre-therapy or therapy session.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I had a lady at the cell phone kiosk,
Mhm.
who just calmed me down to the absolute dirt. And then by the time she was done talking, I had fixed her problem.
Mhm.
Uh, and then it was, my dog just died. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
But like, I didn't have any. No, just because your dog dies doesn't mean you get to be a monster. Like, I
Yeah.
find these people, like, they have some sort of trauma or something that they need to get out, but they don't know how to do it in a healthy way, and they
Yeah.
only know how to do it by confrontation.
Mhm.
Like, but it also seems to be a scapegoat. Like, oh, I have someone who's sick, my dog's sick, my cat's sick. Like, there's always some sort of external reason why they just ignore every bit of common decency.
But they still know that that's not an appropriate thing, which is why they're not doing it to people that they know. They're going out and they're finding this, faceless fucking kid behind a counter that they're like, I just got out of church. That bitch Hattie stole my look. I am going to abuse someone so hard over brunch. That's what I'm going to do. Like, I feel like there is a certain amount of, whether it's conscious or not, awareness that, they can't behave like this around people that will call them out on it. Like you mentioned, like
Mhm.
friends or family. So they're going to go like, I'm going to go yell at a kid at the kiosk.
Yeah.
And when you do say something back, they are gobsmacked.
Oh, absolutely. They were like, I'm sorry. This is like, I thought that this would be like talking to the dog.
There's I think remnants of that respect your elders that was like
Ugh.
so ingrained in generations before us that they feel
Yep.
like protects them, and then when anyone actually calls them on their shit, like you said, they don't even know how to like really respond. I find it similar even with them just making like inappropriate jokes or things to kind of get attention, but
Yeah.
then not feeling bad when people are like, that's maybe not a great thing to say to someone.
I started adopting a thing when I was serving when I guess it was more specific to like really older men saying deeply inappropriate things, is that rather than acknowledging it or fighting with them or getting embarrassed, I would just make my eyes as big and stupid and vacant as possible and go, oh my god, what do you mean by that? And then their options are to either explain their shitty joke or drop it completely and then just be quietly embarrassed because they should be.
Mhm.
And this usually resulted in the tips from their wives being so good because they were just like, I told you about Dad now. And I was like, I love this for us.
I'm obsessed with that.
I highly recommend it. If somebody says something stupid or like a joke that's at your detriment, like
Mhm.
make your eyes big, look stupid, and say, what do you mean by that?
Just like kind of a similar experience that I had was on a couple of ships that I worked on. They have different musicals, and I worked on one ship where the musical was like a drag queen musical.
Oh, cool.
And so for a while on other ships, people would come up and be like, "Oh, I loved you in the musical," da da da. Which to me, I was like, "Damn, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. multiple times a week and hanging up 300 artworks. I must be looking good if they think I'm a dancer." I used to be so excited about it. And then I was working on the ship where it's a drag queen musical, which again, those girls eat, nothing wrong with it. But I was at the breakfast buffet and a guest came up to me and they're like, I loved you in the musical. I thought you were fantastic. And I was like, oh, I'm actually, I work in the art gallery. I'm not in the musical. And she's like, you don't have to lie to me. You did
My
fantastic.
God.
And I'm just wondering, like, do they pay you extra to also dress like this when you're not on stage? Or is it something that you do just to get off? And I was like, ma'am, it is 8 a.m.
I was gonna say, imagine somebody's loading up their breakfast and they're like, tell me of your kinks.
Yeah, it is 8 a.m. and I am in like a suit. You think this is how I get my rocks off?
Actually, you know what? We don't yuck other people's yums if anybody is listening and that's their thing.
True.
I will yuck on just like going up and making assumptions about people and then just being like, oh, you don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to lie to me. I know the truth.
I absolutely
Yeah.
hate that. That is some audacious shit.
Yeah.
But also, like, common sense, we talk about the worst case scenario. Sometimes it's a very innocent thing. And in today's moment of humanity, we have an example. When I worked at the cell phone kiosk, there was a lady. English was not her first language, but she spoke fair enough English. It was at the time when camera phones were really big, but also like smartphones were just starting to pop off. And she came in and she was very, very flustered. She couldn't do anything with her phone. She, I guess, wasn't super familiar with technology. And she was just like really struggling. Something that like you or I would have been able to pick up, whatever. Like kids could do it. It seems to be like a very, very simple problem. Send a picture on your phone. So I helped her. No judgment or anything. I'm just like, oh yeah, do this, this, and this. Great. Now you know. And she was like, perfect. Let me show you this picture. And she showed me a full nude of her putting things inside of her. She's probably about, 45, Eastern European. And then she was like, you did such a good job. You helped me so much. Would you like a discount on a blowjob? And I was like, no, thank you. But like that lady, she appreciated
I was
good
gonna
customer
say,
service.
I feel like she offered you like good service for good service.
She
It's
wanted
like
to trade. That was incredible.
Someone who didn't who really felt dumb coming to me with her problem, and she was so appreciative. Like, you know what, BOGO on Beegers.
Amazing phrase. And like, yeah, also like sex work is work, but I just imagine at the end of the night, like trying to fill out like an IOU in the till where it's just like, did not charge for service. However, I owe you one beeger. But it goes to management in the envelope at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, all about the shareholders. Well, folks, that has been our episode today at Retails. We'd like to give a huge shout out to Allanna Ward.
Woo-woo!
Thank you so much for being with us, Allanna. You can check her out on her socials. You can check out all of her great visual art on Instagram. And folks, have a wonderful day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, that was a delightful episode, wasn't it?
What a kettle of fish.
Make sure to join us next time for another episode of Retails. I've been Mike Hammond.
I've been Sarah Walsh.
Good night, everybody. Tell us your tale. Send your own retail to retails.contact@gmail.com. Follow @RetailsPod on social media for episode updates and more. And make sure to fill out your customer feedback card in the comment section. Retails is funded in part by Arts & L and is a production by Right Good Studios.